YouTube, and all those other good joints. Kev from Kevin's Corner, where I try to make some sense out of nonsense. And here I am, y'all, back again. So if you can hear me, please let me know. Hit that like button before we get started. Make sure that we don't have any snap, crackle, and popping going on in my mic. So tell me if it ain't right. All right, if it's snap, cracking, and popping, we don't want that. So now let's see. Somebody said, all right, what's up, Brian? Said, Kevin's Corner, let's go. Oh, you already know. You already know. That's all I need is a little encouragement to go. Oh, don't encourage me. Don't encourage me, man. You encourage me, man. That's right. They're going to need an army to take me, man. Okay? All right? You want to play rough? Okay? Democrats, you want to play rough? And I think you all to. You know what? Let's continue by, first of all, welcoming all of you to the show tonight. If you're new to the show, I'm Kevin, the host of Kevin's Corner. I'm a one-man show. That's right. I'm all behind the keyboards and the buttons and stuff and all of that. I do it all, man. And I want you to simply enjoy yourself, relax, and buckle up for this roller coaster because we got some good stuff to talk about tonight. Now, I got to get loose. You already know the situation. I can't, start off at 100% and I'm not stretched out and loose. I might pull a hamstring. I might pop an Achilles tendon or something. We can't do that. So I got to get loose for all those Gorilla Clan folks out there. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Oh, man. Somebody said, Kev, you're the best. I appreciate it. I really, really do. Okay, because apparently YouTube don't think so. Yeah, YouTube must not like my style. That's cool. That's okay. They'll be back. So, with that being said, please, you have to like my videos. You got to share them. Follow me on all the other platforms. All the stuff that we have to go through to combat YouTube's shenanigans. One of the things you can do is you can visit Kevin's Corner store, baby. That's right. We open for business. Go ahead. We got all kind of stuff in there. So check it out. Also, that number right there on your screen, 330-974-4607. If you text MAGA to that number, just in case something strange in your neighborhood takes place where Kev disappears, then you can always be reached. I can text y'all and say, hey, y'all, come get me. Come get me. YouTube done got me, y'all. Come get me. So we can always do that. And if you want to support the channel, which some of you all have chosen to do, and it really, really does help offset the censorship and the suppression of my channel, and of course the demonetization of a lot of my videos. You really help me out a lot by supporting my monthly fundraiser that for now I have to rely on. But hopefully times get better, y'all. Hopefully, and maybe after the election, who knows, YouTube might, you know what am I doing? I don't even know why I'm even relying on them. I think it comes down to this is their strategy, their mentality. As long as Google owns them, hey, maybe Elon might buy them. However, like last night, we had a good time in the chat. I mean, we were rocking, man. We were rocking and rolling. And when I went back to watch the video, the live chat was not there. For some reason, YouTube didn't want me to see what y'all was saying. Now, they know that's one of my favorite points of the night. After my live chat, I like to go back and rewatch it so I can read all of y'all comments that I might have missed. But I got on their horn with YouTube and they were like, well, there's a delay. We don't know what happened. The track back in 24 hours. And as of now, the live chat still ain't appearing. So I got to try to read the live chat while I'm live the best I can. Because if I wait on YouTube, who knows? They may or may not upload the live chat. See, they know that live chat is powerful. They know we have a good time in that live chat. And they're like, okay, let's be a party pooper. Boom, boom, party pooper. So with that being said, we got some stuff to get into, y'all. Because Joe Biden, y'all, done returned back to his roots. Yeah, man. He done went back to that black church. That's right. Went in with his shouting shoes on. Oh, with his big Bible in a briefcase. His big flamboyant suit, maybe purple, hot pink, orange, bright colors, turquoise. Yeah, come in with his big hand claps. Come in with his shouting. All of that. Yeah, Biden done came back home, y'all. So he's now at a black church for some pandering. And you know he's one of the best, yet one of the worst at pandering. See, in his heyday, but with the current mental state, the pandering, it just don't seem to be working. It's more offensive because he can't remember. Like Joe, people done figure out a lot of your pander lines. See, he got pander lines, y'all. He got some pander lines. People figured out some of your pander lines are lies. See, you can't keep pandering the same lies, man. All right, pander lines don't fly once people realize they're lies. So he goes in there and he's going to do a little pander, and he's introduced by a big fat sellout Democrat politician from North Carolina. You know who he is. So let's go ahead and see what Biden is doing back in the black church, y'all. Check it out.
The man, best qualified, the man, totally committed to making every American a part of the American dream,
really?
Joe Biden.
Boo! If he was in my church, I would throw a whole bunch of holy oil on him. Soon as he walked up to that pulpit, first of all, my pastor wouldn't let him go up there anyway. He'd be like, "No, brother, we can't have Lion Biden up there now." Not to mention, the mothers in the church would have that oil ready, shaking the bottle up. Yeah, this is our big day, girls. It's our big day. So here comes Lion Biden, man. Stop clapping. Stop clapping. Look at that mess.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
That's enough. That's enough. Somebody go up there and stop that man. Give me a lasso so I can rope those arms together. That dude to be up there clapping like this. All of that mess up. Give me. What you doing, man? That's enough. But anyway, let's continue.
I rest my case.
Your case been rested.
Thank you, please.
Sit down.
Thank you, Trump. Thank you, Trump. Yeah, I think Trump speaks for us all. Let me make sure my volume. No wonder. Yeah, there we go. Volume. Here we go.
I've spent more time in the Bethel AME Church in Wilmington, Delaware, than I have than most people I know, black or white, have spent in that church.
He did it. He did it, y'all. I'm pretty sure somebody in his staff was like, "Now listen, you're going into a black church. Stick to the pander rules, okay? Here's the pander lines we want you to go ahead and drop out there. Don't freestyle with the pandering." But sure enough, he goes right off script, right back to the old go-to. And his mind is probably a fresh tale. In his mind, he probably has no idea the fact checkers done been through this. He has no idea that the church he's referring to is going, "We don't remember no Joe Biden coming up in here. I don't know about you. Do you remember him, girl?" "No, I don't remember him." He don't even remember. In his mind, he's probably like, "Wait till they get a load of this story right here. This is one of my favorite pander stories right here." So he goes back to he was going to the black church. And let's see what else happened here.
Because that's why I started a civil. No, I'm serious. I started a civil rights movement. I used to go to 7:30 Mass.
Started civil rights movement. Used to go to 7:30 Mass. There it is. I know it, man. I know the story better than Biden now. He done said it so many times. 7:30 Mass. Then I'd go over to the black church and I started the civil rights movement. And yet he's been fact checked on all of this. And he keeps saying it. Now, see, if anybody's out there still trying to tell us this man knows what he's talking about and he's not mentally compromised, why does he keep telling the same lies? I mean, a good pander politician knows that once my lies are exposed, don't recycle them. Once people say, "Hey, man, you didn't really do that," don't recycle the lies. But Biden, his mind ain't catching it. He's like, "Man, they're going to love this, man. They're going to be like, he's relatable. See, he's down with the brothers and stuff like that." Well, we're about to see just how down he is with the brothers. Let's continue.
And I go to 10 o'clock service.
During the 60s, I was, in fact, very concerned about the civil rights movement.
Uh-oh.
I was not an activist.
You weren't?
I worked at an all-black swimming pool.
What?
In the east side of Wilmington, Delaware. I was involved. I was involved in what they were thinking, what they were feeling.
No.
I was involved, but I was not out marching. I was not down in Selma.
But wait a minute. Wait just a minute. That's what you had just said. Up there in front of all those black folks. For some reason, maybe they don't follow you enough to see that you are going in there and disrespecting them with nothing but lies and pandering and belittlement. And then, of course, if you're going to go around black people, you know what you got to do, y'all. Bring up some what? Racism. Yeah, little race baiting. Yeah, they done cooked up a concoction. All right, now here's what we're going to do, Biden. We're going to do our go-to. Okay, we're going to do some pandering. You know that. You know we got to do some pandering. Why else would we go amongst those black people? I mean, you have nothing in common with these people. Absolutely nothing. You're going there to pander. Not only that, some race baiting. You know they like that. You know, the blacks like that. They like to hear about how they're oppressed and you're fighting for them and all of that stuff. So, all right, now, long as you can get through this, we're going to give you a horse injection of adrenaline. All right, like we always do, just to get you going. Okay, now, if you can stay focused, we'll be good. But it all goes away. It all goes away. So let's see, because first of all, this right here is undermining what Biden just said.
I was not anywhere else.
Because that's why I started a civil. No, I'm serious. I started a civil rights movement. That was a lie.
And let's say one thing to rest.
Look how comfortable he is in the black church.
I used to go to 7:30 mass every morning in high school and then in college before I went to the black church.
Wait a minute. That's the same pander lie. That's the same pander lie a couple years back when he had the nerve to drop into a what? Another black church. Because you know he got a story for every audience. I mean, that's how the Democrats roll. All right, now who am I speaking to today? Okay, a whole bunch of people suffers from giganticism. You know what? I can relate to you guys. I was once a giant, but through medical technology, they shrunk me back down to 5'8". There you go. I mean, whoever they're going to speak to, they adapt and become that. Nothing genuine about these people. Absolutely nothing. This is one of their campaign strategies. Instead of going there talking about policies, accomplishments, no, just go in there, tell these people I can relate to you. Do some probably little study in your group where they be like, all right, now let's see amongst these people, what all can they all connect with? It's all scripted, except for this lie he keeps telling. See, that's the problem. But the black people, for some reason, keeps tolerating it. That's what makes me mad. They don't feel offended by this liar and panderer that comes into their churches, comes into black audiences, and do this over and over again. Now, either they don't know he's lying to them. Maybe they don't recognize pandering when they see it. Maybe they don't understand what race baiting is. I don't know. But I'm able to see that clearly. So if I'm sitting in that audience, I'm going, say you grew up in a black church, huh? Let's see. Cue the music, please. Cue the music. Let's see him get all in the spirit. Y'all remember this. Look how comfortable he is, y'all. Come on, Biden.
Come on, clap your hands, all you people.
What are you doing wiping your eyebrows? Take it up, Biden.
Come on, the power of the Lord is here.
The power of the Lord is here. Look like he swallowed a marble or two. What is that? Like he swallowed his dentures. I didn't know what to do. Got concerned. I want to hear him come in. Can't you feel him moving on the inside? I can feel him working on the outside. That's what I'm waiting for. I'm waiting for Biden to come in and with the big claps and start dancing and shouting, maybe take a lap. Maybe take a lap around the church, fall out and start shaking and speaking in tongues. That's what I'm waiting for. But instead,
And so I was sort of raised in the Puerto Rican community at home,
God.
politically.
Now you see what I'm talking about? In Delaware, it's probably about 8 or 9 Puerto Ricans. Wait, who am I speaking to again? The Puerto Ricans? Okay. What do Puerto Ricans like? The rice and beans and fiestas. Okay, yeah. I was raised by the Puerto Ricans and raised in the just a straight liar and a pander. And people keep tolerating it and it burns me up. That's why I got to call it out. I can't let this pander just float like this. Can't let this dude just spread all kind of lies all over the internets and in these black churches. And as long as I'm black, I am not going to sit back and let him do that. I can't do it, man. I got to keep telling black folks and others, this guy's lying to you. Here we go.
I think I can smell shite.
Oh, yes. Oh, a whole mountain of shite. So here we go. He done took that shite up in the church. Let's continue.
No, I'm serious. I started a civil rights movement. I started 7:30 mass, and I go to 10 o'clock services. Reverend.
Rubbish, filth, slime, muck.
There's still the old ghost of new garments.
What?
We all need to rise to meet the moment.
What the heck does that mean? See, that's what happens when your brain ain't in the full effect pander mode right there. That brain right there, was the Holy Ghost, the rise of the, we all got to meet the moment. What is that? I don't even know what that was. It's almost incoherent, like most of the things he said. Let me see if I can get his message. Maybe it's inspiring. Maybe I missed the spiritual depth and meaning of it. Sometimes you got to get a revelation. So maybe hold on. Let me see how many Honda grits coming on a Honda. Well, I'm not getting anything. I'm not getting a revelation from the Holy Spirit about what that meant.
There's still the old ghost of new garments.
The ghost of Christmas past, put on some clothes, and we got some new garments, and we all got to what?
We all need to rise to meet the moment.
You all got to rise to put the clothes on that the ghost of Christmas past gave you. I don't know what he's talking about. Nobody does. So here, let's continue seeing him pander. And now he's about to go into race baiting. Here we go.
Yes, I can definitely smell shite.
Yeah, he just cooked them up a shite sandwich. And I wonder if they recognized it or did they eat that shite? See, that's what burns me up. I'm like, why do y'all accept shite? It kills me, man. I'm like, y'all can't y'all nobody, I'll be the only guy in the church go, y'all don't smell that shite? I definitely can smell shite. Are you kidding me? I got the only shite detector? You gotta be kidding me. What's wrong with y'all shite detectors?
After the historic movement for justice in the summer of 2020, I signed the most significant police reform executive order in history.
That's why you don't let politicians come to your church and speak. Because they're never going to, I mean, what's the purpose? Maybe a 2-minute introduction. Hey, everybody, I just want to say thanks for supporting or whatever and check, and now if Trump came to my church, we wouldn't let him preach a sermon. I mean, it'd be one of those, hey, everybody, prepare your mind. We're not coming to church. We're coming to listen to a politician. And this is a campaign thing. All right. You got to set the expectation in the minds of the people, lest they mistake him for a preacher. See, so yeah, you might open up your church to entertain or welcome in a politician. But when you call a politician up and you make them appear to be the guest speaker for that day during time where normally it's church time, well, you get stuff like this. Them going off script and talking about stuff that has nothing to do with the Bible. Here he is going off and talking about white supremacy. There you go. Especially, and I hate to say this, but especially a Democrat politician. Least a lot of Republicans don't mind talking about their relationship with Christ. They don't mind confessing that they're Christians and all of that stuff. These folks, they don't ever talk about that until they're in either a group of Christians or in a church. Like Biden the other day talked about something, beating the hell out of something in the church, and then looked over at the priest. So sorry, Father, forgive me. See, so here he is, an evil, corrupt, old, race-baiting, pandering politician, and this is what he's feeding the sheep right here, a whole bunch of shite. You don't feed your sheep shite, but he wants to feed the sheep shite. So let's see him feed all of these sheep shite. Here we go.
A home owned by a black family on one side of a highway built by the same builder on the other side of the highway and a white guy living in it. The white guy's home is valued more than the black guy's.
See, this is why. This is why I go full steam ahead on this dude. So we knew it was coming. We knew it was coming. That's why he came down here. And they don't even recognize it. Why is Biden coming down here to our little church? Could it be that he just loves black people? Could it be that he just wants to come and enjoy the Holy Spirit moving in the church? Could it be that? Or, of course, you know, I did stuff for black people, and I just want you to know I support blacks, and blacks are great. And if you don't vote for me, you ain't black. And then all of that. Don't want my kids growing up in the racial jungle. You guys are black, but you're not like all the rest of the blacks. You're well-dressed and well-mannered and clean cut. You're those type of blacks. See, so here he comes down here, and he's full-blown going straight into pander/race baiting mode, and it disgusts me. Disgusts me. You can't talk about anything but, hey, I support blacks and black issues and black stuff. Like, that's the sum of black people. That's all we can relate to is oppression and white liberals saving us and doing stuff like this.
No, I know you know it. But guess what? That's how you build generational wealth. On June 17th, 2015.
Here we go, a lie.
The beautiful souls, 5 survivors and 5 survivors.
So another race baiting moment, okay? Had to bring this up. Had to bring this up like we are still down in Alabama in 1940 something. Down there, in the church, sitting back waiting for any moment for people to throw some cocktails through the window just because we're black and ride around the church, with sheets on. Yeah, yeah, there you go. So now he goes into a moment that I'm sure his staff dug up so they can relate. Yeah, I remember a black church was attacked and all of this stuff. And listen to how they try to lie and tie who to this. Now, understand, this was 2015, right? We did hear him say that. So now, here's the situation he's talking about.
Invited a stranger into this church to pray with him. The word of God was pierced by bullets and hate and rage, propelled by not just gunpowder,
here we go,
but by a poison. Poison that's for too long haunted this nation. What is that poison? White supremacy.
Oh, you're the poison. You're the white supremacists. You're the ones that tell blacks that let us white liberals save you. Instead of conservatives, white or black, usually encourage black folks to save themselves. Usually have enough faith in black people to conduct themselves, go about their own business, be successful. They encourage folks that you can do it. You don't need white liberals to save you. You don't need these pandering, lying politicians who always tell you, look at you. You are a victim of white supremacy, all of that stuff. You don't need that. So now, a guy like this, the left, they hail him as a hero. All of these race-baiting Democrat politicians, yay. But then you'll get somebody like Clarence Thomas who will say, hey, black people can do it. Look at me, I'm an example. Ben Carson, and they call them sellouts. There you go. Let this guy come into your church and tell you that, yeah, white supremacy and this and that and all of this stuff and blacks and all of that. You're always suffering from attacks from white nationalism, white supremacy. And look at me, the white liberal. I'm here for you. Look what I did for you. Nothing. I can look at all the stuff this guy has done to hurt black people. But what do? Bring him up in there. It burns me up. I'm telling you, man. I just prayed that. Now, granted, a lot of black people are waking up to this, but not enough. I mean, this whole church needs an alarm clock. They all need to wake up. So here he is in there. And instead of having somebody like a Clarence Thomas come in there, Ben Carson, they bring this guy. Oh, God.
All it is a poison. Throughout our history, has ripped this nation apart.
Liberals, liberal Democrat policies have ripped this nation apart. Liberal Democrats have ripped the black community apart. And this is the great paradox of all of this. I'm saying y'all don't realize it's these people in that party who is responsible for all the stuff y'all swear up and down is keeping us down. All of the past oppression, all of that. The divide of the black community, the removal of the man out the family, the reliance on government assistance, all of that. Raggedy inner cities, allowing gun violence to run rampant, horrible schools, lack of school choice, enabling black folks by telling them they're a victim, and some mysterious white man, except for us, are responsible for all of your oppression. Somebody said the pandemic, you name it. I mean, the list goes on and on and on. And yet, kills me, black folks keep bringing them right up in there that tell us more of how you guys are better than us and that we need the white liberals. Wait, wouldn't that be white supremacy? Because you guys are always, y'all got the savior complex? Or would that just be full-blown deception? And, you know, yeah, I think we've been deceived. Boy, this is one of the greatest mind tricks on a large group of people ever. I mean, they just simply took the playbook straight from slavery and implemented it in this era. Make the large group of black people codependent on us by making them think it's better here on this here plantation. Don't you leave it. And set up a couple key black people like the guy who introduced him, key black people, to make sure the rest of the black folks keep going. And then you get some other black person that'll come out and say, I just don't want to be here on this here plantation. I just think we can get up north to freedom. And then you'll get all of these black folks like Joy Reid, that bum who introduced Biden, and the rest of the black Democrats that'll come out and tell you, you's crazy. You's ain't nothing but a sellout. You's ain't nothing but a Uncle Tom. When will we wake up? When will we wake up? Let's continue.
This has no place in America.
No place.
Not today, tomorrow, or ever.
Never, ever.
Is it fair to tie in any way what happened at the Emmanuel AME Church to Donald Trump?
Now there's the black overseer right here. Here's the black sellout right here. Now watch what this dude does. We just heard Biden talk about a situation that took place in that church 2015. Somehow, though, Trump is responsible for that. Listen to this nasty, disgusting Democrat try to tie this mess in there.
Donald Trump had barely launched his campaign when that attack happened.
Well, thank you very much for having me.
Thank you very much.
I think it is very clear that Donald Trump's utterances way back before Charlottesville, or at the time of Charlottesville, ties him to what happened at Mother Emmanuel.
Y'all hear that garbage? Y'all hear that? Thank you very much. I know Trump wasn't around during slavery, but the future birth of Donald Trump makes him responsible for slavery and all of the Jim Crow laws. And I know Trump wasn't even born yet. However, but somehow just the ether decided one day a Trump would come along and would be a white nationalist. Therefore, it reacted. It reacted to the future of Donald Trump coming along and thus unleash white nationalism on the whole nation. That's what it happened. That's what that fool just did. That's how desperate these Democrats are to try to link Trump to every single thing that ever happened. So here we go. Somebody say you love Mark Robinson. Me too, man. That dude's a beast. So now, wait, y'all. It all goes belly up because they done let the wrong victims into the church, y'all. Biden thought he was in a safe zone. That's right. They're here to absorb all my pandering and my lies. And nobody's going to push back. I'm amongst friends, I think, until all of the radicals that they done let slide through the whole country for like the last 8 years, they showed up. Oh, they're ruining his shite show.
Care about the lives lost here. You should honor the lives lost and call for a ceasefire.
Look at his face. Cease lying now. Are they saying cease lying now? That's what they should be saying. Cease lying now. Cease lying now.
That's all right. That's all right.
Cease lying now.
That's all right.
That's all right. No. Let him go. That's what he looked like. Let him go. He don't know what to do. Yeah, see, this is what happens when you bring in a whole bunch of victim groups and it starts bumping heads. You don't know which victim group to choose. See? Yeah, when a victim group turn on you, now you're going, what do I do? Yeah, he looks like he was confused in that one clip where he was in the black church going, I don't know what to do. I expected everybody to praise me. Now they in there talking about some ceasefire now. They should be saying cease lying now. Look at his face. Oh. Yeah. Oh, wait a minute. Don't you remove those protesters. Don't be sending out the goons to remove those mostly peaceful protesters. Yeah, these people have a right to protest. That's right. We're proud of the protesters and all that stuff when it's against Trump. When they're interrupting Trump's speeches. Remember when Trump was running against Crooked? And you'll get some radical people to show up paid for by Hillary Clinton to go into Trump campaigns, to Trump rallies and start acting up and disrupting. And then when the cops come to take them out, then Trump was a racist. So apparently Biden must be some type of racist and stuff because he's sending out these mostly peaceful protesters. Yeah, he should be going, leave them be. Let them sit in here and interrupt my raggedy speech. Yeah. Well, this is awkward. Oh, shut up. Don't try to combat that. Don't try to now down by 4 more years. You don't know what you're asking for, people. It's a shame. Yeah, you don't know what you're doing. I feel like Humphrey Bogart back in those old black and white movies. Johnny, I want to be with you. You don't know what you're saying, sweetheart. You don't want to be with me. I'm no good, I tell you. I'm a rebel. I don't play by anybody's rules. That's right. And she's like, I don't care, Johnny. I want to be with you. You just heard Johnny tell you. You know already Johnny said, I'm a rebel. I don't play by rules. You don't know what you're saying. But this is, I said, I don't care, Johnny. I want to be with you. That's what they're doing. They're like, Johnny, I want to be with you. Biden. So here they are, 4 more years.
Thank you. Look, folks, I understand their passion.
You do?
And I've been quietly working with the Israeli government to get them to reduce and significantly get out of Gaza.
So he just threw them a pander bone. We don't know if that's true or not. You think Biden really is actually working with Israel? You think he's the one talking to Netanyahu? Absolutely not. He just now has to remember that, wait a minute, I got to throw everybody a bone because all the victimized groups need a little bit of patting on the head. Make them think, hey, we're doing stuff on your behalf and ain't doing crap. Every once in a while, I show up to a black church or something and tell them reparations are coming. Free this is coming. Free that is coming. Yeah, I'm fighting on your behalf. And then bounce, knowing that he's not doing any of this crap. Nothing. None of this crap. So that was his experience at the black church. We got to continue unraveling this man.
I'm using all that I can to do.
But look, they just cheer with no evidence. So guys, the Obamas are back. They recognize after seeing stuff like that and the division in the Democrat Party because of all the radicals they done created. All of the folks that's talking about, you know what, if you don't do what we say, we're going to show up at all of y'all's stuff and interrupt it and harass y'all until y'all give us what we want because y'all taught us how to do this. Yeah, y'all wrote the playbook for this. Yeah, we learned from the best. So now, considering the polls, considering moments like this, considering Biden's lack of popularity, Michelle Obama then came out and she's concerned. But here's the media. They first going to recognize that even Obama is a little concerned because remember, listen, never overestimate Biden's ability to screw things up. Remember that? Okay, so that's exactly what he's doing. He's screwing things up.
As President Biden ramps up his general election campaign, there are new warning signs. The Washington Post reporting former President Obama has raised questions about the structure of President Biden's reelection campaign. Two sources confirmed to NBC News.
Wait a minute. Who are you? Who are you to raise concerns about the structure of the Biden campaign? Are you still the president? Do you not trust Biden's competency? Huh? What? I mean, when is the last time you heard a former president decide I need to meet with the current president because I'm concerned about the structure of his campaign, his presidency? I need to step in and intervene. Could it be that you've already been involved? Could it be that you knew this man was not qualified? And because he's not qualified, you were able to kind of run the country in the background? Could it be that? I'm just wondering, because that would be like, President Bush, when Trump was in office, I'm a little concerned. I think I need to have a meeting with Trump, talk to him about the way he's running his campaign. I would get that call like, hello, who is this? You want to meet with me about what? And there you go. So Obama feels like he's emboldened enough for some reason to weigh in on how Biden's running his campaign, y'all.
News that Obama and Biden met over lunch in December and discussed the campaign, with Obama expressing deep concern about Mr. Trump's political strength. Underscoring the urgency, one source telling me this is an all-hands-on-deck moment.
That sure is. Listen, I don't care what we got to do. If we got to make sure this guy's not on a ballot, and if we have to throw you under the bus, Joe, we'll do it. We'll do it. So, yeah. And then he's like, hey, Michelle, go out and say some stuff too. So here she is. She's out here now. She's concerned too, y'all.
What keeps me up are the things that I know. The war in the region, in too many regions. Problems. What is AI going to do for us? The environment, are we moving at all fast enough? What are we doing?
What? That keeps you up? Does it really? In your nice big fancy house right there, Martha's Vineyard? That keeps you up? I mean, if that really was a concern, you wouldn't have built your house right by the ocean. There you go. I mean, does that keep you up as you fly around on jets and stuff? Yeah. These people are frauds. So yeah, that keeps her up. Yeah, it doesn't keep any other American up. The person that is homeless, what keeps them up? The concrete. The code. Stuff like that. That keeps them up. Not the environmental change. We're looking at folks that got real issues don't sit up at night worrying about climate change. Only mindless liberals are looking up in the sky waiting for it to fall. The sky is falling. But here she is, the climate, and what else?
About education. Are people going to vote?
About education. Ran in Democrat raggedy S-hole cities where mostly impacting Black and others, minorities, because, no school choice, misplaced resources, all kind of stuff. Low expectations, the list goes on. But here she is talking about these concerns.
Vote. And why aren't people voting? Are we too stuck to our phones? I mean, those are the things that keep me up because you don't have control over them.
No, I'm sure what keeps you up is Trump getting back in office and putting his foot up all of y'all tails who tried to sabotage him the first time, then sabotage him in his reelection effort, and now trying to sabotage him again. I'm pretty sure that's what keeps all of these raggedy Democrats up. All of them are like, oh man, this dude, man, he get back in, he knows the game. Oh, he's going to put some people in that's going to stick it to us. Oh, if he gets back in and shuts down these 3-letter agencies that helped us the first time, we in trouble. We in trouble. If he opens up a real investigation and put a real deputy dog to go in and say, now, what did Obama know about that Hillary Clinton dossier? Huh? Stuff like that. Man, I'm sure that's what's really keeping them up.
And you wonder, where are we in this? Where are our hearts? What's going to happen in this next election? I am terrified about what could possibly happen.
I bet you are.
Because
of our democracy. That's what it's coming. Because of our democracy and stuff like that. Not because of our own political strategy, our own political power, our corruption, all of that mess. Yeah.
Our leaders matter. Who we select, who speaks for us, who holds that bully pulpit. It affects us in ways that sometimes I think people take for granted. The fact that people think that government, does it really even do anything?
Exactly. It does nothing. That's the point. We don't want your intervention. Like Reagan said, the government is here to help. No, I don't want that type of help. Less help is better. Keep your big fat noses out of our lives. But the Obamas, the Bidens, the Democrats, that's how they make their living, man. That's how they pimp the system. They want more control over the people. But here she is trying to tell us government helps a lot. And that's the problem. Look how much the Biden administration then helped us into this monstrosity that we're looking at.
And I'm like, oh my God, does government do everything for us? And we cannot take this democracy for granted.
Now, see, that's what's scary. When a politician comes out, because that's what she is. She's a politician too. Who knows? And Glenn Beck's going to go ahead and weigh in on this in a second, thinking that they might shove her in at the last second. But when a politician comes out and says government does everything, that should concern you. That should concern you. The fact that she said that, I'm wondering, did anybody catch that? She just said pretty much government does everything. In other words, we need to be looked at as the all-powerful entity that everything revolves around. Okay, give us that much power and authority. Rely on us to that degree. Look at us as the great savior. Government does everything. Okay, so when we come out and make suggestions, don't you question them. When we come out and tell y'all, get the shot. We've been patient, but our patience is running thin. Don't you question that. When we tell y'all, you know what, Ukraine's winning. We're going to give another $50 billion. Don't you question whether Ukraine is winning or not. You accept that mess. See, so government does everything perfectly. Never question them. Never question elections. All of that. So here we go. This woman doesn't even realize she's only encouraging me to support Trump.
And sometimes I worry that we do. Those are the things that keep me up.
I really believe the Democrats are going to do their superdelegate, which can vote differently than the public. So it's a hand-selected group of people that the party elites select, and if they feel, for the party or for democracy's sake, the people have been duped, they can override their vote.
Because that's the style of the Democrats. That is why it is important that we win not only the presidency, but the House and the Senate. Because if Trump wins and somehow magically, the Democrats take over one of those, the House or the Senate or something like that, who knows what kind of shenanigans they might pull. We object to this certification because people are terrified. All of a sudden, then it'll be okay for the electors to be like, we reject this and that. So, yeah, here Glenn Beck he's talking about the wonderful democratic process that the Democrats live by. Let us decide who our leaders are. And my gut tells me he might be onto something. Not saying exactly, he's right, but I just can't see them letting Biden go the distance. When they already see the writing on the wall, they're already starting to panic. They're meeting with this dude already, questioning the direction of his campaign. I got a feeling they're going to pull the plug on him at some point and try to slide in somebody. And Glenn Beck seems to think it was the woman who was just on the screen talking about, it concerns me.
And I think you're going to see the poll numbers going down so horribly that you're going to have somebody else besides Biden, and you can't have his vice president. Super delegates stand in and they say, you know what, for the good of the country, we need somebody that can unite us all, and that would be Michelle Obama.
Hey, I wouldn't put it past him. You know, a lot of people have been speculating either him or her, well, him or her, or Gavin the Nuisance. Who knows who they might try to slide in. But I just don't think they're going to let it be Biden. After watching him, no, let him go. My butt's been wiped. Join international depression, isolate and punish China. Stuff like that. Think about what you think about at the time. Yeah, I don't think they're going to let that man go another term. So we'll see. But here they come, y'all. It is a full press to stop Trump. Oh, must stop Trump at any cost. Look at this.
Do you think
Bowser up there in Washington, the one that allowed that Black Lives Matter big old painting on the streets, that one, the one that turned down with nasty Pelosi, those 10 to 20,000 troops for optics. She's now on MSNBC weighing in on what else? The 14th Amendment. Somebody said, who's that guy? Yeah. She's almost to my level. Okay, so here we go.
think he should be barred from any ballots given his actions on January 6th?
Yeah, because that's democracy. Now, you know why Bowser's on here, and you know why this woman's asking Bowser this question. I mean, this wasn't a random question. This was a question to once again reiterate that Trump should be removed from the ballot. Okay. Do you think she would have asked this question if she guessed or wondered what Bowser might say? Huh? I mean, out of nowhere. You know what? What do you think about that at 14? You think he should be removed? If she even had any speculation, whether Bowser would say, well, you know what? I think maybe we should lay off of that a bit. She would have never asked the question. This is a pre-planned question with a pre-planned response. So let's see if my predictions are right.
Well, I support every state taking very aggressive action to keep him off the ballot. He is undergoing, court action across America.
What that got to do with anything? See, Democrat trumped up court action across America, just like all those Democrat stupid investigations throughout his whole presidency. And here she is. He's going through court interaction across America. I think that we should keep him off the ballot because we can't win. You can't win. Can't get even and you can't get out of the game. People keep saying things are going to change, but they look just like they're staying the same. Dang on it. Y'all know y'all can't win. So what's the next step? Keep him off the ballot. Oh, but hey, this right here is an example of how all Republicans should be defending Trump. When we know that these people are out here dropping these bootleg narratives about the 14th Amendment, dropping these lies about J6, dropping all this garbage about Trump's involvement, saying Trump is a darn insurrectionist. This woman comes out, gets on, I think it's NBC or something like that, and goes to work. Let's look at this masterclass. This is how all.
So we've got Kristen Welker here.
Kristen Welker,
with the media and the corrupt media establishment ask you the Trump-Russia collusion hoax that you pushed on this network for years.
NBC?
Was that real or was that Hillary Clinton made up disinformation?
Oh, I can answer that one, teacher. I can answer that one. It's the Hillary Clinton's made up propaganda. There you go. Am I right? Of course.
Answer the question. Go. We need accountability.
See that dumb smile right there? That tells it all. Oh, you tripping, Vivek. Yeah, you got me. That's what that smile looks like. It's you got me. That's what it is. So now, here she is. She had the nerve to bring on somebody on her show, and she's gonna do what she is paid to do, which is, of course, try to bombard Republicans, try to make them disavow, ask them everything she can about Donald Trump and his white nationalism and all of this stuff. So let's see how this wonderful Republican handles it.
President Trump facing a blizzard of headlines related to...
Oh, I forgot. Before we get into that, we got to go through a little short montage to set the stage of how accurate Vivek was in regards to her pushing false narratives and lies about Russia.
The Russia investigation. President Trump increasingly embattled because of the Russia investigation and increasingly lashing out. Listen to the language she used. And a bombshell report by the New York Times that the FBI opened up a counterintelligence investigation into Mr. Trump in 2017 amid concerns he wittingly or unwittingly was working for Russia. Did you ever see an investigation more in search of a crime and calling the probe a Joseph McCarthy style witch hunt?
And was he right? Was he right? I look at him, he's calling the investigations of Joseph McCarthy witch hunt, and he was dead on. Now you think this woman came out later and said, I tried to make it seem like Trump was just making stuff up and mad because he was getting investigated over, something that he was guilty of, and he wasn't. He wasn't. But she never came out and said, yeah, my bad. No, that's not what they do in the fake news.
Really digging in. Congresswoman Stefanik, welcome to Meet the Press.
Here we go, Congresswoman Stefanik versus Welker, Kristen Welker, I think. So here we go. She's about to bite off more than she can chew. Y'all ready? Girl on girl. We got us a girl fight going on. Here we go.
It's great to be with you, Kristen.
You are one of Trump's strongest supporters. In his speech, President Biden cast the former president as a threat to democracy. This was an argument that was effective in 2020. It was a winning argument for Democrats in 2022. How do you answer that charge?
There we go. You already know. When they bring a Republican on the show, let's go down all of our narratives, all of our accusations about Trump, all of our propaganda about Trump, and force the Republican to either agree or disagree, and based on their response, then we can do, if they actually double down and support Trump, we gotta look at this person. They're supporter of this. I guess they must love white nationalism. I guess they're anti-Semitic. I guess this is the goal. It's never, hey, what is the Republican Party strategy? What are their policies? What is this and that? No, it's not that. It's let me go ahead and talk about Trump, try to tie you to Trump. Everything revolves around Trump. I'm going to stay on Trump and see how you handle it. And boy, does she handle it beautifully.
Well, first, Kristen, I wouldn't say it's a winning argument. In fact, in 2022, Democrats lost the House, and House Republicans ran on the issues that matter to the American people. We ran on securing the border. We ran on addressing the historic inflation, which the American people know is a result of Joe Biden's failed policies and the trillions of dollars of reckless spending. And what Joe Biden didn't mention in his speech were any of the policies that have created a crisis across America. So zero mention of the border, which is wide open and a top issue even in my home state in New York. You have Democrat mayors who are speaking out about Joe Biden's border crisis. No mention of inflation, which continues to be a concern for voters across my district. And when it comes to threats to democracy, Joe Biden and Democrats are a threat to democracy. We see them attempting to remove President Trump from the ballot. We saw this in Colorado and
Chris, somebody need to get in her ear. Get in her ear quick. All right, look. We weren't expecting this. We don't know what they're doing. Hold on, right. Okay, go back to Trump somehow. Because she is working those ribs over. Working those ribs. She didn't back up. She didn't try to dodge the question. She went straight in. See, that's what you do, baby. This is a masterclass in how Republicans should handle the fake news and defend Trump. Instead of buying into and giving any credibility to these bootleg narratives, equip yourself with all type of responses because you know what's coming. You know what's coming. It's like debating liberals. They've been pre-programmed to think certain things. So you should have answers for everything. You know what they're going to say. Oh, what about Trump in Charlottesville? Or didn't he say that all the Mexicans were rapists and drug dealers and murderers? And didn't Trump? You already know what's coming. So you should have ammunition to combat all of that. And this is what she has. She went straight into that question. That's what happens when a wild animal attacks. They don't expect you to run straight towards them. They be like, whoa, wait a minute. I'm the bear. I'm the bear. You running at me. I thought I'm the chaser, not the chasee. Maybe I should just go ahead and back up off you. You seem a little too confident coming at me. So here she is. The bear tries to come at this lady, and she's like, oh, no, I'm going to surprise you. I'm going to catch you completely off guard and fire into you. So now what is she saying? She said, oh, it's the Biden administration who's a threat to democracy. Watch her. Get out of there. Change subject. Go back to Trump.
That is a suppression of the American people and the American people's ability to cast their ballots this November. So it's Democrats that are a threat to democracy.
Round one goes to Stefanik. All right, here we go. Round two.
On this issue of January 6th, because of course.
Here we go. There we go. Staying on this issue of January 6th because the people in my ear done already told me what we want to go out there and focus on. Trump being a dictator, Trump January 6th. Stay on it. Don't let her off of it. Make her admit that January 6th was the worst attack on the homeland and all of that mess. So let's go ahead. Somebody said, give her a song. Yeah, she might deserve a song after that.
Of course, Mr. Trump was talking about this. I want to pause for a minute and play some of the comments that you made on the evening of that day. Let's take a look.
Violence in any form is absolutely unacceptable. It is anti-American and must be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law.
Do you still feel as though that day was tragic and that those who were responsible should be held responsible to the fullest extent of the law?
Well, she thinks she got her. She thinks she got her up on those ropes. Like, yeah, we just played a clip of you saying stuff. Now, we don't want to play all of the clip. We want to just show just a small smidget and then try to make you go ahead and either denounce what you said and say, oh, yeah, all these people from J6 should be in jail forever. Or we're going to paint you as a J6 sympathizer. Let's see how she handles it.
Well, first of all, Kristen, as typical for NBC and the biased media, you played one excerpt of my speech. I stand by my comments that I made on the House floor. I stood up for election integrity, and I challenged and objected to the certification of the state of Pennsylvania because of the unconstitutional overreach. So I absolutely stand by my floor speech.
Tens of millions of Americans.
Oh, here's the real clip. So she's giving her a knuckle sandwich. She's coming in right now with that knuckle out like, ow. So let's go ahead and see what Christian Welker left out.
Americans are concerned that the 2020 election featured unconstitutional overreach by unelected state officials and judges ignoring state election laws. In Pennsylvania, the state Supreme Court and Secretary of State unilaterally and unconstitutionally rewrote election law, eliminating signature matching requirements.
I am proud to support President Trump, and I want to correct another statement you made that there's no coordination with Joe Biden and the Department of Justice in prosecutions against President Trump.
Man! Oh, yeah, somebody said it. Yep. Dig, if you will, the picture of me and you engaged in a kiss. The sweat of your body covers me. Can you, my darling, can you picture this dream if you can in the ocean? There we go. Yeah, maybe I'm just too demanding. Man, she is killing it. Let's continue. She might make me sing again.
We just saw Hunter Biden defy a congressional subpoena and the White House admitting it was in coordination with Joe Biden the morning of. That is coordination, and I believe that Joe Biden will be found to be the most corrupt president in our nation's history, and that's why all of the investigative work that we're doing is so important, because the American people, they deserve transparency and accountability.
Oh, round three. Oh, man, she's killing it. Killing it. So she went and brought up Joe Biden. Wait a minute, y'all. Hold on. Oh, shoot. I'm going down to Alphabet Street. I'm gonna crown first girl that I meet. I'm gonna talk so sexy. She'll want me from my head to my feet. Yeah, she will. That's right, girl. Might have to go ahead and take you down to Alphabet Street talking like this. Here we go.
On the issue of election integrity, though, as you know, Trump took his case to court more than 60 times that there was fraud. He didn't win.
And they never point out that these cases
they didn't lose on the merits. It was an issue of standing.
You know, Trump took his case to court more than 60 times that there was fraud. He didn't win.
Now, I be hearing that all the time. I be hearing that all. Trump, he exhausted all of his avenues of trying to combat the election, this and that. But they leave out some key information. That's what they do. Rand Paul, help us out because, see, I'm sick of hearing that. So let's see.
You see the 60 court cases rejected. Do you think that's a conclusion by our court system that there is no fraud, or do you think that the court cases were primarily rejected for procedural reasons?
The vast majority of these cases were rejected for procedural reasons, as opposed to a merits-based or substantive-based evaluations.
So what you're saying then is that it never really went through a process. They never really looked at the facts. They just said, you know what, we're rejecting it. We don't want to look at that. We don't want to look at it. That's what you're saying? So when Welker gets out there and deceives her audience by making it appear that all of these cases that were brought were looked at and heard by the judges and concluded after all the evidence was presented that, oh, well, there's no merits. Wow. Could she be deceiving her people once again?
I want to get back to this key question. Do you still think it was a tragic day? Do you think that the people who stormed the Capitol should be held responsible?
I want to get back to the key question. I want to get back to my try to get you and got you question. They want me to stay on J6 because that's how we're trying to set the narrative that Trump should be disqualified based on the 14th Amendment and this insurrection. Let's see if she buckles under the pressure to this attack using this garbage narrative.
There seems to be two sets of rules. If your last name is Clinton or it's Biden, you get to live by a different set of rules than if you're an everyday patriotic American. So the real threat to our democracy is these baseless witch hunt investigations and lawsuits against President Trump, whether it's Tish James or whether we see in the D.C. Circuit Court. And that is undemocratic and it's shredding our Constitution. And you know who agrees with me, Kristen? The American people. That's why President Trump is winning in poll after poll against Joe Biden.
The Justice girl. I was working part-time at a 5 and dime. My boss was Mr. McGee. Oh, yeah. Told me several times that he didn't like my kind, 'cause I was a bit too leisurely. Oh, that's right. She wore a raspberry beret. Girl, go on, man. Finish her.
Department has indicted a number of top-name Democrats as well, including the president's son, twice. So,
look at her fighting back. You gonna come up here bringing up crackhead, trying to make it seem like crackhead is sliding through the cracks because of his daddy? There, look at that. He was indicted twice. Let's see how she reverses this move right here.
I mean, a lot of critics would argue that undercuts your argument. There are two systems of justice.
If you want to try to, I want to answer that. If you want to make that case, the American people are very smart. They know that they tried to give Hunter Biden a sweetheart deal. We've heard from multiple IRS.
He's been indicted twice, Congresswoman.
But it was because of a judge that threw out a sweetheart deal that was negotiated on Joe Biden's behalf. Joe Biden and the Department of Justice have been withheld from going after the Biden crime family, which Joe Biden sits atop of.
Oh, so shut your mouth. That's the translation. So shut your mouth. You're going to try to come out here and pretend that we all didn't see the overwhelming effort to try to get this kid off the hook. And because they got exposed, they had to go ahead and say, man, all right, this is too obvious. We're going to go ahead and have to stick it to you, Hunter. And yet she tried to come out, well, there's no difference in the justice system. He was indicted twice. And boy, did she just punch her right in the nose. And I love it. Yep, flatten that big nose of hers.
Did you vote to certify, and will you vote to certify the results of the 2024 election, no matter what they show?
Well, I voted not to certify the state of Pennsylvania because, as we saw in Pennsylvania and other states across the country, that there was unconstitutional acts circumventing the state legislature and unilaterally changing election law.
What about 2024?
We will see if this is a legal and valid election. What we're seeing so far is that Democrats are so desperate, they're trying to remove President Trump from the ballot. That is a suppression of the American people, and the Supreme Court is taking that case up in February. That should be a 9-0 to allow President Trump to appear on the ballot, because that's the American people's decision to make. But just to be...
Oh, she thought she was going to get her. would you now take this time to say you would to validate the election no matter what if we cheat and remove Trump from the ballot and whatever we do? I want to lock you into this, okay? Say I put you up in the situation where it's like, okay, it's obvious that they cheated or something went wrong, but because I came out on NBC, I guess Meet the Press, and said this, now I have to do it. See, this is the little games that they play. And boy, did she come in and give her a side shot to her jaw. So here she comes again. She's going to go ahead and swing again and a miss.
Very clear. I don't hear you committed to certifying the election results. Will you only commit to certify the results if former President Trump wins? Does that mean if former President Trump wins?
No, it means if they are constitutional. What we saw in 2020 was unconstitutional circumventing of the Constitution, not going through state legislatures when it comes to changing election law.
Just to put a fine point.
Oh, she is like, don't you try to slide that mess in. You know, dang on it, that I'm not going to commit to that. I'm not even going to go ahead and try to appease your audience by saying, look, I'll let whatever happen run all over us. Yeah, even if it's obvious that you cheated, I'm going to let it happen because look at me. I'm supporting her. Killing it, y'all. I like her. I like her a lot. Let's continue because the propagandist is coming back for more.
Point on this, Mr. Trump, his allies did take their case, their concerns about the election to court more than 60 times. They lost every time.
Courts have not said there wasn't fraud. The courts just simply didn't rule on or hear from the fraud.
Thank you for clearing that up, Rand Paul. Thank you for clearing that up because this liar right here is going right back to that that tactic.
Trump, his allies did take their case, their concerns about the election to court more than 60 times. They lost every time.
The courts never looked at the facts. The courts don't like elections, and so they stayed out of it by finding an excuse, standing or otherwise, to stay out of it. But the fraud happened. The election in many ways was stolen, and the only way it'll be fixed is by, in the future, reinforcing the laws.
Mr. Trump hired 2 independent firms to investigate that. They came up short.
Well, we can't just say it didn't happen. We can't just say, 4,000 people voted in Nevada that were non-citizens.
Not to mention all the dead people. Not to mention the dead people ran. Because see, here she is now trying to say, look at this, Donald Trump had no legitimate reason to say that the election was stolen because everybody looked at it. Everybody looked at it and said it was the most fair election in the world. And everybody rejected Trump. Thank you for clearing this up because see, these are talking points that we hear come out of the fake news to try to justify that Trump knew he lost. Everybody told him. Everybody said Trump is obvious. As if we went through some legitimate trials and presented all the evidence and all of the evidence came back as no. Or did they say, we don't even want to get involved with this? Because see, the left has radicalized a whole bunch of people. And if we, look at this, who knows? Our houses might be, burned down. Antifa might show up at our job. We don't know. See, so yeah, let's not get involved.
And we're just going to ignore it. We're going to sweep it under the rug. Say, the courts have decided the facts. The courts have not decided the facts.
As well as the federal agency responsible for overseeing election security, CISA, said that the 2020 election was the most secure in America.
Most secure. I've been hearing that one too. Let's see if we can dig up some, because this person who put this together, he's great. Is a Trump fan. So let's see, because here she is said, look, man, settle down, Stefanik. Settle down, okay? You've been punching my face this whole time. But here I am to let you know, people have concluded this was the most legit and secure election of all times. Who made that decision?
Which I can't remember. Is that CISA group that declared this the most secure election in our history?
Yes, sir. That was the joint Government Coordinating Council and Sector Coordinating Council statement.
So CISA? The one who just was up there on the Capitol, who's getting busted for trying to coordinate dis and misinformation on the internet and coordinating with the agencies and all of that stuff. That left-leaning, fake group that they didn't put in place, the proxy, to do all of their censorship and stuff. CISA? Wow, I don't know if we could take their word, to heart. Maybe they might have a motive. Maybe it only became the most secure election after Creepy and the rest of them stole it. So yeah, we're going to come out and say it was great and the most secure election ever.
So to say it was the safest election, sure, I agree with your statement if you're referring to foreign intervention. But if you're saying it's the safest election based on no dead people voted, no non-citizens voted, no people broke the absentee rules, I think that's false. And they're taking your statement to mean, oh, well, there was no problem in the elections. I don't think you examined any of the problems that we've heard here.
Darn right, Ron Paul. Darn right. They never examined none of that mess. Yeah, it was all a big fat strategy. Make sure we intimidate any of these judges. We don't want them looking at this. Then this way we could just come out and say it all was looked at, I guess, or rejected or whatever. Trump's cases never went anywhere. He surely knew that he lost. Therefore, his intent was to deceive the people when he came out and said the election was stolen. And yet here he is exposing that lie, exposing that very biased group who came out and said, yeah, it was the most secure election ever that we never investigated or looked at. Interesting. So there you go, guys. Next time somebody come up to you and say, well, everybody looked at it. Yeah. Tell them, go ahead and put that in your pipe and smoke it. Let's continue.
I want to ask you about something that former President Trump recently said. He referred to migrants as, quote, poisoning the blood of our country. This is language that the Biden campaign,
Of course, this all revolves around Trump. All revolves around Trump. Every talking point, every narrative that every fake network has been pushing for the last year or so. Trump said this, Trump's a white nationalist, Trump's an anti-Semitic, Trump's a Hitler. So now here she is bringing up some more garbage.
Says, quote, is parroting Adolf Hitler. Are you comfortable with former President Trump's comments?
Well, yet again, we have the media, which is so biased, which is reiterating whatever the talking points the Biden campaign is giving.
I'm giving you the opportunity to respond. I'm just giving you the opportunity to respond.
Our border crisis is poisoning Americans through fentanyl.
Let's talk about what's happening at the border.
I don't think any banana republic or third world country has had a border like this. So who could want this to happen? Marxists, fascists,
Democrats,
communists. Maybe they have a different theory on this than you would have or I would have. It's killing our country. They're destroying the blood of our country, and it's a horrible thing. And
destroying the blood of our country. Does that sound anything like what Hitler said? Tainting the blood, watering down the blood, any of that? Do you make the connection with that statement to mean somehow these illegal immigrants are coming in here breeding with white folks, watering down our pure white as snow blood? Is that what you gathered from that statement? After he just laid the case and the groundwork of, hey, I'm talking about all of the dangerous things that are coming. Yeah, not just the fact that they're people of color. No, I'm talking about the drugs, talking about the crime. I'm talking about all of that. But hey, to the left, to the fake news, he's talking about what Hitler said. You know, you don't want to intermingle with these people. Hey, you taint and mess up the white pure bloodline. They are so evil and corrupt. And she got the nerve to ask her about this. And instead of backing down like a lot of Republicans do, I don't, I condemn the president's speech. I think it was a bad choice of words. What does she do?
don't forget, you have many people from jails, from prisons, from mental institutions. You have terrorists pouring in.
It is poisoning people. And you know why? Because of Joe Biden's wide open border, that executive actions he took on day one. So yes, I stand by President Trump. And President Trump also he has the strongest record when it comes to supporting the Jewish people and supporting the state of Israel.
Oh, girl. Shorty, I'm there for you anytime you need me. For real, girl, it's me in your world. Believe me, nothing make a man feel better than a woman. Queen with a crown, that be down for whatever. There are few things that's forever. My lady, we can make war, make babies. Back when I was nothing, you made a brother feel like he was something. That's why I'm with you to this day, boo, no frontin'. Even when the skies was gray, you would rub me on my back and say, hey, baby, it'll be okay. Now that's real to a brother like me, baby. Never ever give my lady away and keep it tight, all right? You're all I need. That woman right there just straight said, oh, you think I'm gonna run from that? You think I'm gonna get out here about that? I do condemn the president's language. It was a bad choice of word. I'm gonna lean into it. That's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna go ahead and say, you wanna know who's really poisoning all of us? And then topped it off. Because remember, the argument of the fake news is that when Trump talked about that the blood of the Americans are being poisoned and stuff like that, it was referring to Hitler. because he loves Hitler and stuff. And now, what did Hitler do? He hated who? The Jews. But yet Trump has been the most supportive when it come down to Jewish people and Israelis, rather. So now, with that being said, how can you make that connection? Oh, because you're corrupt and evil. That's how you can make it. See? So she lit her up with that. Let's see how she lights her up on the way out.
Let's talk very quickly about what's happening on Capitol Hill. As you know, the Senate locked in these fierce negotiations over the border and border security.
Joe Biden and Chuck Schumer in the Senate have failed to take up our Secure the Border Act, which we passed. It has strong policies returning to the very effective border security policies of President Trump, including construction of a border wall, ending catch and release, returning to remain in Mexico.
Very quickly, are you ruling out?
Wow. She is like way ahead of Christian. There it is. That's what it is. So all of the talking points, all of that the Republicans are supporting, they won't give the Democrats a lot of money to continue keeping the border open. That's what it is. That's what you're saying. So look how she defends this.
Now, supporting a government shutdown, something that you've said.
We don't support shutting down the government, but we must secure the border. We must secure the border. That's where the American people are. We're losing our country in front of our very eyes. And so the person who's threatening a government shutdown is Joe Biden, who refuses to secure the border.
Former President Trump.
And you could take a smack for that. There you go. For your troubles, take that. So there she is trying now, but you guys support the government shutdown, trying to make it appear that Republicans are responsible for all of the mess that we're in. No, it's not the Biden administration rejecting a rational, comprehensive, border patrol policy right there. He just wants the money to continue shuffling in illegal immigrants. And yet they gave a beautiful layout of, hey, look, how about you make these people stay in Mexico? We'll give you your money. Yeah, how about you do that? Let's go ahead and talk about how we can discourage these people from coming. You'll get your money. But nope, because they don't want to do that. I'm loving her, man. Let's see how she closes out, sticks the landing.
In his interview with me said he, quote, likes the concept of picking a woman as his vice president. If called upon, would you serve as his vice president?
Well, I, of course, would be honored to serve in any capacity in a Trump administration. I'm proud to be the first member of Congress to endorse his reelection. I'm proud to be a strong supporter of President Trump, and he's going to win this November.
Have you spoken to the former president about the possibility of running as his VP pick?
I'm not going to get into the content of my conversation with President Trump. I talk to him frequently, and we need to make sure that President Trump is in the strongest position to win in the general election. That's what I've been focused on, and that's what I'm going to remain focused on.
Just to put a very fine point on it, it sounds like you're saying if he were to ask you, the answer would be yes?
Well, I've said for a year now I'd be honored to serve in the next Trump administration.
Wow. So, guys, that was a beautiful masterclass of how to beat down a fake propaganda on the fake news. So, yeah, she definitely earned a right to be on my radar as far as potential VP picks. I mean, my first choice, even though she's running for the, a Senate position, would be Carrie Lake. She's awesome. But the way I just saw her handle that bootleg hit piece right there, I mean, that's how you do it. She's a great debater. So, yeah, I don't think that Kamala Harris would be able to get up there and go toe-to-toe with her in a debate if Kamala and Joe actually makes it that far. So, yeah, that'd be nice. I would love to see her get up there and tear into Chameleon with her raggedy record. Wow, she just went up about 4 or 5 notches in my view. That was beautiful. Now, guys, we're going to end with a horrific shite show. This liberal, I guess, organization, anti-Trump, they put together this, this video, this promotional piece to try to paint a picture of what Trump would be like if he became the president. And I want y'all to watch this real quick and tell me, do you think this is accurate? You think that maybe, they might be embellishing a little bit on some of this stuff? Huh? So I've never seen a propaganda piece this obvious, this over the top. And we have to end with combating it with another video that shows another side of what these people are talking about. So let's take a look at this shite show right here, y'all. Y'all might want to go and put on a hazmat suit or something because we don't want to get shite all over us. Check this garbage out. This is unbelievable right here. Can't believe they even put this
I
out.
love this guy. He says, "You're not going to be a dictator, are you?" I said, "No, no, no, other than day one." As my first order of business, I hereby declare martial law.
Citizens of the new America.
What? What's this?
Here are today's announcements.
Okay.
Supreme Leader Donald Trump proclaims the 4th of July will no longer be celebrated as Independence Day.
What in the heck? Supreme Leader Donald Trump? Where are they getting this from? And I thought Trump loved Independence Day, the 4th of July. Now, guys, you would think this is a comedy or parody. Nope. This right here is a legitimate marketing, I guess, production. So I'm already concerned. It got my attention. Supreme Leader Donald Trump is no longer Independence Day. So what is it going to be now?
In honor of our 2021 Patriots, January 6th will now be recognized as our great nation's birthday.
What a piece of shite. In honor of our great patriots, January 6th is now going to be recognized as... They actually put this together. Let's continue.
All citizens are required to participate in quadrant festivities. Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration in your local detention camp.
Are they talking about the Democrats and the way they're going, the direction that they're going in? This is a shite movie. I mean, this is a last-ditch effort of fear tactics. They took this up to a whole nother level, y'all. They're like, man, we got to go fully in on it, man. I think we need to put together a production, coming up with, a movie-like situation where Trump is a 100% dictator. And let's say that he's going to do all of this crazy stuff right here, locking folks up for not participating in celebrations and stuff, because obviously that's in Trump's nature, as we saw the last time when he was president. See? Yeah, we saw all of that leaking out during that time, right? But here they go. This is what they think Trump's going to, well, they know Trump's not going to do this. This is what they're trying to convince people that Trump will do.
I'm tired of this separation of church and state junk.
There you go. See them slide in the attack on Christianity? Show that clip. I'm tired of the separation of state and church junk, which to a degree, I'm like, yeah. We don't want to go too far one way or the other. But the Democrats want to completely push church out of state altogether until it's convenient, where Joe Biden shows up in a black church. That's right, racism, white nationalism, and stuff like that. And look at this, effective immediately.
Effective immediately, all children are now considered spiritual soldiers of MAGA.
All children are considered spiritual ambassadors for MAGA, I guess. Unlike the Democrats' attack on children, and all children should belong to the state in regards to allowing them to mutilate themselves if they want to at 8 or 9 years old.
Regardless of rape, incest, or health of the woman, abortion is now illegal.
Regardless of rape, incest, or whatever of the health of the woman, abortion is now illegal. They have taken, do you understand the level of desperation when you take the propaganda to this level? This is on a whole nother level of proper. I mean, and the sad part, we've heard stuff come out of the fake news that was kind of similar to what they're saying. This is crazy. Let's continue watching what Trump's gonna do, y'all.
Anyone caught providing or receiving an abortion will be charged with murder.
Anyone caught or charged with receiving abortion is going to be charged with murder.
Even punishment for abortion.
There has to be some form of punishment.
For the woman.
Yeah, there has to be some form.
Due to previous liberal indoctrination, all schools are hereby closed. All citizens must...
All schools are hereby closed. That sounds like what the Democrats did. What are you talking? Oh, so what they're doing is they're taking all of the potential, behaviors and some of the real behaviors of the Democrats and just inserted it right into this propaganda piece. That's what you're telling me? Even though Trump was like, we can't shut down our schools. What are y'all talking about? Yeah, Democrats did it. And now they're talking about burning books, which I saw nothing but Antifa doing. And Black Lives Matter over the summer of love. Burning books. But once again, they got to slide this in because, of course, if you don't want kids to be reading pornography in school, then that's censorship. You're burning books.
Participate in their quadrant's book elimination celebration festivities. Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration in your local detention camp.
What indeed? I mean, I would love to meet the person who wrote this and produced this, who wasted their time and money on this. But even more so, I would love to see the persons who might watch this and go, that sounds like what Trump would do. That sounds like what's coming, hon. We better make sure we go out and vote for Biden. And look at that. That's scary. They look right into the future. That's exactly what Trump's going to do. They're not even making this believable. They're not even making this believable. They ain't even trying. So now all of a sudden, if you're not participating in the book burning session, you're going to jail. What else?
All migrants, refugees, and dreamers are now considered enemies of the new America and will be rounded up, incarcerated, and deported immediately.
Enemies of America. Now, I mean, that I won't say they're enemies of America, but they're not citizens of America. The Dreamers are a different situation, but the rest, I mean, I guess the propaganda piece forgot to mention that these aren't migrants. These are illegal immigrants. See, that's what the propaganda piece forgot to mention. Let's continue, though, because remember, guys, this right here is a serious ad.
Poisoning the blood of our country. That's what they've done. We will root out the radical left thugs that live like vermin.
Your curfew and freedom to travel will be determined by your quadrant's vermin surveillance system score.
Holy moly! Your vermin surveillance system score. So wait, let me understand, guys. When the Democrats, they'll talk about you need vaccination passes to go here and there. You need scores when it comes down to the environment. If you're not sensitive to environment, yeah, what about Trump? It seems like the left would be more prone to go in this direction than Trump. But now you got a vermin surveillance system score. It's like they had some kids sit down and write a scary story. All right, kids, we're going to let you write this ad. All right, come up with a scary story. Well, let's call it the vermin. The vermins aren't allowed to go places. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Let's call it a vermin surveillance system score. Thank you, Jimmy. All right, what else? What else, guys? Yeah. So here we go. The boogeyman is going to get y'all if y'all vote for Trump.
The vermin surveillance system has proven to be invaluable in detecting and squashing liberal uprising.
Detecting and squashing liberal uprising. You mean like the DOJ and the FBI trying to squash MAGA uprisings? Huh? Conservatives coming together and supporting each other and disagreeing with the government? You mean like that? You mean like them infiltrating all of these people's private chats and stuff online and trying to suppress them and coordinating with big tech to make sure that, you mean like that? Stuff like that? Boy, is this so far out there. When I watched it, my jaw almost fell off. I was watching this like, is this real? I'm waiting for the punchline. I'm waiting for a joke. It's dead serious. That's the funny part.
Citizens must continue to report any progressive or liberal activity.
Any citizen is required to support any progressive or liberal activity. You mean like they've been snitching, or at least trying to, on conservatives? Yeah, MAGA, ultra MAGA, they're a threat to America. They're a threat to democracy. Yeah, stuff like that. Can you believe this? So now they expect us to be walking around like, oh, shoot, there goes those liberals again, talking about gay rights and transgenderism. Call the feds. Unreal.
Failure to do so will be met with harsh punishment and immediate incarceration at your local detention camp.
How would you know? There you go. I guess Trump's hit squad is going to know, hey, Frank, the other day there was a group of liberals out in the middle of Walmart and they're talking about transgenders' rights, and you rolled right past them and didn't call us. Roll right past them and didn't call us. So, Frank, you're going to the gulags. There you go. Now you can hang out with your liberal friends in the gulags. So there you go. That's what they're saying is going to happen. That's what they're saying. And they want to take this seriously. Here we go.
Your unwavering loyalty to Supreme Leader Donald Trump is mandatory and essential in keeping the new America great forever.
You see how they tried to slide in Hitler at the end? Yeah, throw a little Hitler in. You always got to sprinkle that in. A little Musa, a little Chi, even though it's the Biden administration who loves China, who is not condemning China, who's not punishing China, who's letting China run rampant all over the United States because maybe perhaps of that $1.5 billion deal. Who knows? Who knows why he's not tough on China? But nonetheless, they're trying to tie Trump into all of that. What a big fiction of production right there. Shite. That was shite. That was shite, y'all. 100%. So now we got to end with something a little more uplifting to combat that big fat shite sandwich we just had to watch them make. They just made, all right, we need more shite. It's not big enough. No, we don't want no condiments on it. We don't want any of that stuff. All shite. Shite and bread, Wonder Bread on the top and the bottom. So let's end with this ad that somebody put together that I can appreciate. Now, I want to qualify this because, see, just in case some people might say, well, this sounds like people are saying Trump is some type of savior. No. What this ad is focusing on is how God can use somebody, the most unlikely source. And I think this ad really highlights, and I said this before Trump ever became president. Give me a few more minutes, y'all. We got 3 minutes. I said this when Trump was running the first time to many of my Christian friends. Somebody said, no, Kev, 30 more minutes. We'll see. Because this might take us there because even though it's 3 minutes, it's packed with wonderful, rich stuff that I might not be able to contain myself. I might have to stop and But I said this before Trump won. I said so many Christians might overlook that God could be using Trump, an unlikely source, and sticking him right in the way of stopping what is trying to come upon America through these Democrats and these globalists and these deep state actors. See, and it reminds me of, going back to, Saul versus David. The people wanted somebody who they could look at and say, well, look at Saul. He's tall. He's handsome. I mean, this is the type of leader we want. Yeah, that one looks like a good king and everything. We don't want David, the little small, scrawny looking sheep guy. We don't want that guy. And God really wanted to use David for the children of Israel, and Saul was rejected. So the people were looking at Hillary, who had definitely, mastered the ability to come across as diplomatic, well planned out when it comes down to her campaign. Everything that she says was calculated. Her movements, everything. Here's Trump. Came out uncouth, saying it, whatever pops in his head, right off the hip, all of that. And, you have so many Christians out there going, look how crass he is. And I'm going, what is his policies, though? Is he supporting what you believe? Or are you caught up looking at Saul and overlooking David? So I really believe that God used Trump, because imagine if Trump wouldn't have won. Imagine that first time if Hillary would have won. Where would our country be right now? We wouldn't be probably the United States. We'd be the World Global Alliance of whatever. So God used Trump then. And I really believe that God could be using Trump again to stop this. Now, I don't want to get out over my skis and, say that God is going to do this. I'm not one of those guys to be like, oh, God told me. But as far as I can see, the momentum and the fact that Trump is still moving forward through all of this resistance, this evil that's coming against him, my gut tells me that God could still be working through Trump. Not saying Trump is a savior. It is God could be using Trump to give America more grace, more time. Could be blessing us, blessing the whole nation, all of that stuff. Because when we finally just get turned over to evil, we're done. We're done. And Trump right now is the only candidate that I think could restore America back to, I think, some of its glory. And who knows? It might allow God to continue giving us a little more favor moving forward. But woe unto us if Trump doesn't win and we fall into the hands of these raggedy politicians who will unleash any ungodly concept on America. Do you think God will tolerate us abusing kids? That 9-month abortions, having kids mutilated? You know, do you think God would tolerate? At some point, he's going to say, now y'all are Sodom and Gomorrah. You do realize that. Y'all are legislating all kind of nasty stuff and going after the kids. So Trump right now is a blessing in disguise to many folks that might overlook him because he doesn't fit the mold. And what really makes me think this is the forces of darkness and evil that are fighting against him, which makes me think, yeah, God is using Trump. And he might not even know it. Check this out. I like this one.
And on June 14th, 1946, God looked down on his planned paradise and said, I need a caretaker. So God gave us Trump. God said, I need somebody willing to get up before dawn, fix this country, work all day, fight the Marxists, eat supper, then go to the Oval Office and stay past midnight at a meeting of the heads of state.
Woo-wee! I like the way that starts off. Because God knew us in our mother's womb. And you don't know how God could be working through you. If he could use a jackass to speak to the people, he could use anybody. So you hear that? So little did Don Trump know. Here he is. I'm just going to be a millionaire, billionaire. I'm going to make money and that. Who would have ever thought? This is one of the greatest stories. I'm sitting there going, if you would have asked me 15 years ago that, hey, this guy who's on The Apprentice is going to be the president and going to be fighting against all of this evil, I'll be like, that dude's an entertainer. What are you talking about? We all look at him as just, Donald Trump, the billionaire, And all of a sudden now here he is. Look at this, how he just busts through this crowd on the scene.
So God made Trump. I need somebody with arms, strong enough to rustle the deep state, and yet gentle enough to deliver his own grandchild.
Beautiful, man. I like this right here. See, unlike the propaganda piece we just saw. So we need a person with this type of tenacity, with this type of dogmatic approach towards fighting against this garbage that's going on. That's why I can't do a DeSantis. I can't do a Vivek. I can't do anybody else right now, because this guy right here is built for this. He's built for it. I mean, he got the right attitude, the approach. When it comes down to fighting against these people, he got the instincts, the wisdom. He's built for this, man. I mean, people can hate on him if they want, but I think God might have picked the right one to use to bless us, because we are in trouble and we need somebody with this type of attitude. Don't give me no politician that's getting, I'm not a disagreeing or agreeing. I want somebody that I know what he's thinking and where he stands on issues, and that's Trump. Let's continue though.
Somebody to ruffle the feathers, tame cantankerous World Economic Forum, come home hungry, have to wait until the First Lady is done with lunch with friends, then tell the ladies to be sure and come back real soon.
Look at him catch his woman. As Melania, that very classy First Lady, took a slip. Trump was right there to catch her. Now you're talking about ruffling feathers. He went up in that nasty chicken coop of, world leaders over there to G7. And they didn't look like peacocks after that. In fact, that's probably what got him in trouble. After they went over there and tried to get him to join their evil, diabolical, globalist movement, and he came out on that mic and said, nope, America would never join that. These people in the back here, they want me to join this. No. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to remain America first, and I recommend that all the rest of you countries do exactly the same. And then shortly after that, who came out? The evil emperor with that wandering eyeball. Trump is an anomaly that will disappear on 2020. That guy, he ruffled the heck out of their feathers. So let's continue hearing this wonderful ad.
And mean it. So God gave us Trump. I need somebody who can shape an axe, but wield a sword, who had the courage to step foot in North Korea, who can make money from the tar of the sand, turn liquid to gold, who, understands the difference between tariffs and inflation.
Man, I love this ad. I love this put together like that. See, that's a good leader. That man had a perfect balance. The fact that Kim Jong-un actually was like, you know what? Yeah, come on over to North Korea. Because I sense that your goal is not to try to remove me from power. I'm willing to go ahead and play by some rules because I know you're not going to act a fool. And that was monumental right there. You think Biden could go over there and do that? First of all, he would have failed stepping down off of that little ledge right there. Yeah, he'd have failed. So now, look at all that Trump accomplished. He came in, he got that perfect balance of strength and then fairness and grace. He's like, look, man, I'm going to let you know, little rocket man, I'll blow you off the map. At the same time, I'll be your friend if you let me. It's up to you. Here's the choice before you. That's a good leader. He came in and he looked at all of the resources and the things that could make us strong as a nation again, not the party strong, not individual Democrats or Republicans strong, not the deep state strong. This man went in and said, let's drill. Let's set America back up in a position to where we are economically strong and independent. Why are we making dumb choices when we got all these resources, when we got all the technology, when we got all of the manpower? Why are we just making ourselves weak on purpose? Why are we doing that? What did Biden do? Came right back and made us weak again. Everything that Trump did to make us strong, he came right back in to make us weak. 4 million jobs created. Man, look at all that. Got rid of all these stupid regulations. Median household income record high. 3.9 million Americans off of food stamps. All those good times. All those good times. Ruined.
Will finish his 40-hour week by Tuesday noon, but then put in another 72 hours.
Now that right there, that takes nothing but God right there. Because Trump slept about 3 hours a night. Everybody in the White House like, man, this dude be up before us, go to sleep later than us. He works constantly. Somebody said, we got a troll. We got a troll. Get him. So, yeah, look at that. Oh, wait. Look at the insensitive white nationalist hugging this disabled man right here. Look how insensitive he is. He's probably going to throw him in the gulags after that.
So God made Trump. God had to have somebody willing to go into the den of vipers, call out the fake news for their tongues as sharp as a serpent's. The poison of vipers is on their lips and yet stop. So God made Trump.
Now, see, what's awesome about this piece is that Trump has grown since he first got in office. I think when it comes down to the attacks he suffered, I think he has grown closer to his Christian beliefs. That'll make you. Dealing with these fools will make you. Now, I'm not saying Trump's a super saint or a super Christian. I'm not saying any of that. I really don't even know if Trump is aware of how much God is using him. See, you don't have to know that God is using you for God to use you. I mean, but I do think Trump has a higher awareness of Christ at this point in his life. And he also definitely respects and supports Christians and respects all religions. He ain't trying to shut down any religion, but he definitely is not on this aggressive attack on Christianity. That's why I say to all American Christians, you need to be conscious of that. Yeah, you don't have to say, well, Trump's not a born again, Holy Ghost filled, speaking in tongues Christian. Does he need to be used by God? See, that's where you get too deep, when you go over the deep end. You're not able to see the simplistic, approach that God might have with Trump. Make sure he supports the things that you value. There you go. Let's continue.
God said, I need somebody who will be strong and courageous, who will not be afraid or terrified of the wolves when they attack.
And it's a lot of
a man who cares for the flock, a shepherd to mankind who won't ever leave nor forsake them. I need the most diligent worker to follow the path and remain strong in faith.
That's true. Because any lesser man, anybody that wasn't built and put that steel in their back like Trump have, would have threw the towel in a long time ago after the second impeachment. After all of that, after the 4 indictments. And this man keeps trucking along. Keep on trucking, Trump. Yeah, yeah. You got to keep on trucking. And look at this, guys. Yeah, here he is up here letting folks lay hands on him.
And know the belief of God and country. Somebody who's willing to drill, bring back manufacturing and American jobs, farm the lands, secure our borders.
Wait, you mean to tell me we don't need a person who's willing to outsource all our jobs, sell all of our farmland to China, open up our borders to every nation on the globe to come across? We don't need that. You're telling me that that won't make America strong and great again? So all of these wonderful things highlighted in this ad right here. I mean, all you got to do is just say, yeah, all of the stuff they're mentioning makes sense. All of that benefits us. But instead, what are we doing? Selling out. Let us rely on all the other countries for our resources and our medicine and our jobs, and let's sell all of our stuff to our enemies, and let's go ahead and embolden and all of the folks that want to blow us off the map, and let's open up our borders to over 100 and something countries that they could all come in, because I want to surge the border.
Build our military, fight the system all day.
Wait a minute. You mean tell me we don't need a president that's like, we want to focus on women's hairstyles and helmets that fit all the different women hairstyles and the pregnant fighter suits for the women and transgender rights and the pronouns. You mean tell me we don't need that? We don't need commercials out there talking about these are my two moms. And when I grew up, you mean tell me that doesn't encourage military strength and might? You mean to tell me we don't need a raggedy, brainless president that is responsible for the worst pullout ever that cost 13 lives? We don't need that. We don't need a bootleg president that leaves billions of dollars of equipment over in Afghanistan. Hey, you telling me that's not a good policy? Yeah, running out of bullets somehow, sending millions and billions over there to Ukraine right now, while our military can't even meet its monthly quota in recruits. We don't need that. Boy, people don't realize, man, how good we had it under Trump. And I pray that God brings that back. Let's continue.
And finish a hard week's work by attending church on Sunday.
Well, look at that. He's not in there pandering. There you go. He was amongst black folks. He's not in there talking about racism. You know what? Back in 1942, when I started the Civil Rights Act and the business, and you know what? I rescued Nelson Mandela. You know that? And I moved amongst the black people like some type of black person, and they didn't even know I wasn't black. I blended in more than other black people. That's what I did, along with being Puerto Rican on the weekends. There you go. And don't forget, I was Jewish, and then one time I was Hindu, and I was a Muslim. Two, all in one. You mean tell me he's not in the church doing that? He's just simply standing there worshiping with the people?
And then his oldest son turns and says, Dad, let's make America great again.
What? You mean to tell me his oldest son didn't say, hey, Dad, let's go ahead and pimp out all these other countries so we could get rich while I smoke crack and make money for nothing? You mean his son didn't do that? You mean to tell me his son wasn't up there recording himself smoking crack, brandishing weapons that he shouldn't have had, stuff like that, hiring a whole bunch of prostitutes? Yeah, his son was actually saying, Dad, let's make America great again. But yet, you look at this raggedy president and his crackhead son and the fake news talking about this is all about our father's love for his son. And Don Jr. and all of them are white nationalist racists and they're evil. And look at the Trump family and all of them. Upstanding people. No videos of them smoking crack. No videos of them with prostitutes. None of that. Wow. I'm starting to think we got this all wrong. If I'm a bubblehead who fell for the manipulation the first time. So now, am I going to believe the clip that I just showed y'all with the propaganda, or am I going to watch this and say, this one right here is a little more accurate?
Dad, let's build back a country to be the envy of the world again.
And
So
boy,
God
did
made Trump.
that was a wonderful piece put together. Excellently done. Excellently done. Oh, yeah. Good stuff. Good stuff. So God made Trump. There you go. Now, when you look at those two ads, yeah, which one gives you a little more hope? Which one makes you say, yeah, that's probably a lot more accurate? Is it the one talking about Trump's going to lock down the whole nation and make them worship MAGA and we're going to change holidays and stuff like that? Or Trump's going to do what he did the first time. Yes, put us back on the map where we're respected. Yeah, put in policies that will make sure all of us as American citizens benefit from it instead of China, Ukraine, Iran, you name it. Everybody's benefiting except for us. Yeah, put in a strong border that would discourage people from all over the globe, not South America, all over the globe. Yemen, people from the African continent, the Asian continent, everybody is just showing up at our border. We don't know what they're here for, who they are, if they're terrorists or not. It doesn't even matter. Yeah. See, as a leader that is protecting the flock, you make sure no wolves slide in amongst them. But is Biden doing that? No. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. Another night down, y'all. Another live show. Now, I'm wondering if I'm going to be able to end this live show and go back and rewatch all of your comments. I'm wondering. See, we'll see. We'll see. I don't even know if the one from last night is uploaded. I wanted to read what y'all was talking about last night, but, you know, the powers that be didn't want me to see it, I guess. So we'll see how this one ends. But before we go, y'all, make sure y'all text MAGA to 330-974-4607. And also, don't forget, check out my, Kevin's Corner store. And if you want to purchase some, please do. I'd appreciate it. And finally, the most important is to help a brother out. When it comes down to sharing my videos, follow me on all the other platforms. All these things contribute to making sure that the channel, my show, continues to be circulated and watched by people that maybe don't even see this stuff right here. Might not have this perspective. And please, if you can, contribute to my monthly, somebody just dropped something in there last night and I appreciated it. But yeah, I'm on my own here when it comes down to trying to make sure that I can weather the storm with YouTube censorship that's going on. And I think it's not unique just to me. It's a whole bunch of conservatives that are under this type of attack. So I'm sure that they also are relying on your support. And I don't want to overwhelm people. I mean, I know how it is. I don't want to be like, all right, you do what you have to do to make sure your house is blessed. But if you want to support my channel, you can through my monthly fundraiser link that is right below this video. And I'm sitting here reading some of the most wonderful comments and some of the greatest support coming from you all. And I can't tell you how much I appreciate that. Yeah, I enjoy this. I enjoy doing this. I enjoy hanging out with you guys. This right here, it makes us feel like we're united and we can go ahead and continue to move forward because we got some folks backing us up. That's what it feels like. So, yep, hit that thumbs up on the way out. I hope y'all enjoy the rest of your evening because it's mighty, mighty cold up here in Ohio. And I will be back again tomorrow to crack some skulls. So, God bless y'all. God bless America. Let's get ready to bounce. Oh, man, look at that eagle. Mm-hmm.
This is awesome.
Yeah. See y'all next time in Kevin's Corner. Take care.